Yo, I'm Yovan Buha, Lakers beat writer for The Athletic, and welcome to another Lakers post-game reaction. I'm kind of speechless after that game. An incredible comeback from the Lakers. They trailed by 21 points at the 11:45 mark of the fourth quarter. They end up coming back. LeBron just takes over in the fourth quarter, and the Lakers win 116 to 112 to beat the Clippers in the final Battle LA game at Crypto.com Arena. The Lakers win the season series 3-1. They improve to 32 and 28, and they take back the number 9 spot, which Golden State had had after last night's win over the Wizards. So a critical win for the Lakers on multiple levels. And it, for 3 quarters, was looking like it was shaping up, even more than 3 quarters, technically, really into the fourth. It looked like it was going to be one of, another disappointing loss. They're going to drop to 1-3 coming out of the All-Star break. And they were going to be a solid half game back of Golden State at the number 10 spot. And they just a miraculous, again, amazing comeback in the fourth quarter. They outscored the Clippers 39-16. LeBron James outscores the Clippers 19-16 just by himself. And again, this was in my opinion, a momentum shifting win for the Lakers. It wipes out some of the bad taste from after the All-Star break of losing to Golden State, and then you barely beat the Spurs, and then you lose to the Suns in the fashion that they did. And I just think this was a much needed win, but to win in the manner that they did, which was LeBron taking over, having one of his best performances of the season, definitely his best quarter of the season, in my opinion. But then you have Austin Reeves playing spirited defense and making some big plays on that end, and just having an all-around good game. You have Rui Hachimura stepping up and hitting a big three, and he had just missed a big three earlier in that same sequence, and comes back and hits a big corner three, and then has a drive and gets the reverse layup. Then D'Lo with the catch high, shoot high corner three, didn't even really jump, and hits a big shot. So incredible stuff. And AD making the 2 free throws to tie the game, getting a couple of big offensive rebounds, and then just being the defensive presence that he is on a nightly basis, and really holding on the fort on that end, being really the only Laker that could do that for most of the game. But yeah, I just an all-around team win. And again, I think while every win matters, sometimes how you win matters even more. And to me, this was that type of win that could catapult the Lakers into some, just refining that rhythm that they had before the break, having won 6 of 7 and 8 of 11, and give them some juice entering this match. They have a crazy homestand coming up where they're going to be playing Nuggets, Thunder, Timberwolves, Kings, Warriors, Bucks, Sixers, and I'm probably forgetting one, but like they've got some big home games coming up over the next couple of weeks, and to get a win like this, I really think mattered, and it showed a level of resilience and togetherness that the Lakers haven't always shown, and haven't shown particularly lately, or at least post All-Star break, with laying out a couple duds against Golden State and Phoenix. But as I laid out last post-game reaction, I want to start doing 3 things from each game. So let's get into thing number 1. That's LeBron James. And LeBron James went sicko mode against the Clippers, and that's, look, I didn't come up with that. AD came up with it, but he was asked post game about when LeBron is just in that mode of so for those who didn't see the game, LeBron was just pulling up for 3, and then dissecting the Clippers in the pick and roll, targeting James Harden, targeting Daniel Tice, and just going full LeBron of really just playing chess out there and manipulating the game. And, someone comes up to screen for him. If the Clippers are pre-switching that, then he's going to call for a second screen. And he was just relentlessly targeting James Harden. And some of it was just LeBron going crazy. And when his three is falling, there's really nothing you can do with his ability to get downhill, his ability to play make, his ability to control the offense in the pick and roll. If he's going to be making step back and pull up threes, like there's just not much you can do as a defense. But I think LeBron's sense of urgency is something that's really stood out to me post All-Star break. I thought that San Antonio game, even the Phoenix game, like to me, he was one of the guys who brought it consistently for most of the game. I don't think that first quarter performance was really on him. But then again tonight, I thought he was engaged for the most part through the first three quarters. Just it was relatively quiet by his standards offensively, but defensively welcomed the challenge of guarding Kawhi Leonard for stretches. And then fourth quarter just came out with a level of focus and aggression that we haven't really seen from him for a sustained period like that of just, I'm taking over this game and there's nothing they can do about it. And only the best players in the world can do that. I think there are only a handful of guys Nikola Jokic can do that. Luka Doncic can do that. I think Giannis can do that. He's done that before. Kawhi, we've seen that from Kawhi, Steph Curry. Like it's just really the top 5 to 7 guys in the league can do that. And I don't know if you still put LeBron in that category in terms of being a top 5 to 7 player, but he can still take over a game in a way that I think overall AD's been the better player this season. But we've never really seen AD take over a game to the extent that LeBron just did against the Clippers. And that's no knock on AD. It's just, kind of style of play. And it's harder to kind of do that as a big man. That's what makes a guy like Jokic or a guy like Joel Embiid, just special. But, at that upper echelon of top 2, top 3 players in the league. But I just think LeBron doing that to me reaffirmed that, he's still incredible in year 21, but also I think when the Lakers are at their peak, when they can, hitting that ceiling, it's got to be LeBron playing like this. And you're not going to expect him to drop 19 points in a quarter consistently or hit 5 threes. But this level of two-way engagement and focus from him, I think, is paramount for the Lakers continuing to sustain the success moving forward, and then play in tournament or playoffs, having a shot to pull off an upset if they're the lower seed. So to me, this was just reaffirming what we already know about LeBron. I don't think it was necessarily shocking. We've seen these types of performances from him before, but it had been a little bit since we had seen something like this from him. And I think to have the quarter that he had and to, again, just take over a game in which he was playing against a team that has had a lot of success against the Lakers in recent years, and a player who has tended to have success against him and against the Lakers and Kawhi Leonard. Like LeBron defended him well, defended him on the final possession, got the rebound that led to Cam Reddish getting that punctuation dunk in transition. So all around great performance from LeBron. He finished with 34 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, and 2 blocks. Did it in 37 minutes, and the Lakers were a team best plus 11 with him on the floor. So one of his best performances of the season, much needed. And also, interesting stat from this game, first time a LeBron team has come back from 21 or more points in the fourth quarter. So even in year 21, he is still setting records and new marks for his own personal career, which is just insane. Now, thing number 2 for me was the supporting cast, the other guys getting the job done in the fourth quarter as the Clippers started to key in on LeBron, sending doubles, shading over heavily, And we saw it, I mentioned Rui Hachimura hitting a big three and then getting a reverse layup. D'Lo with the big three. Austin Reeves forcing Norm Powell into a shot clock violation. AD with his offensive rebounding and battling inside. The Clippers were very active on the offensive glass. And I thought AD and Jackson Hayes in the earlier portions of the fourth quarter did a better job of corralling the defensive glass and thwarting the Clippers, attacking. And so I think this was, to me, like, yes, LeBron is the headliner and he deserves a bulk of the praise. And I think he was that single-handedly special to swing the game and to really dictate it and bend it to his will. But it wasn't, the Lakers do not win this game without Rui's contributions, without D'Lo's contributions, without AD's contributions, and without Austin's contributions. And Darvin, Ham said after the game that he felt it reminded him of the 2023 playoffs. And that's what we've kind of seen from this group when they're at their best. They improved to 7-1 with this starting lineup. There was a point there where it looked like Darvin was going to close with Cam Reddish over Rui. And then he ends up going back to Rui, and Rui rewards him with several big baskets. And he was also battling in the paint and helping AD on the glass. So I think this was a bit of a vintage win for the Lakers. It did feel like a win from last season. It felt, just especially that fourth quarter, but the way they were executing of just locking in defensively, getting out in transition. They had 31 fast break points in this game. Also 30 points off the Clippers, 15 turnovers. So they were putting a lot of pressure on the Clippers in transition, and it just felt like, again, it was only one quarter, and they did have some good stretches in the first three quarters. The third quarter was a bit of a disaster, but and first quarter was solid for the most part. But I just felt like it looked like the vintage Lakers and what this group can be. And look, the Clippers weren't at full strength. No Paul George, no Ivica Zubac. Those are their second and honestly maybe fourth best players. Like I think Zoo's right there with Norm Powell for fourth best Clipper. So like those were two significant losses, and going to Amir Coffey and Daniel Tice for stretches of the game, like that is a significant downgrade from Paul George and Ivica Zubac. So I don't want to minimize that from the Clippers perspective of just they didn't have their full strength lineup, and like the Clippers are just worse without those two guys. But for the Lakers side, obviously they're missing Jared Vanderbilt, Gabe Vincent, Christian Wood. Cam Reddish just came back, but he was on a minutes restriction. So overall an impressive win for the Lakers. And to me, the fact that it wasn't just LeBron or AD taking over and winning the game. Yes, LeBron did take over, but it was the other guys making really crucial plays, and it was a team win. And that to me, that's something that is more sustainable than LeBron just getting hot and making a bunch of shots. It's okay. Like this is the blueprint for how this group can win. And they just now have to extrapolate it from 12 minutes into 48 minutes and try to do that as consistently as possible. And finally, thing number 3 is I'm gonna give you a spoonful of vinegar. I did not love the rotations against the Clippers. I think so Spencer Dinwiddie had a solid game. This was arguably his best performance when factoring in the opponent and the stakes and just the context, but 7 points, 6 assists. I thought he was moving the ball well. He was finding guys. He was creating opportunities, wasn't forcing it offensively, and what was okay defensively for the most part. So like Spencer did his job, but Taurean Prince and Cam Reddish were basically just out there getting their cardio in. And for Cam, he coming off the injury, missed 14 games, was on a minutes restriction. I thought progressively played better throughout the game, at least on the defensive end, and had some good stretches against James Harden, just bothering him full court. Also checked Kawhi for a bit. So I'm a little bit more lenient with Cam. But Torian, I mean, just another quiet performance from him, and he did only play 17 minutes. So I think Darvin recognized that he wasn't a good Torian game, and played him a little bit less. But for me, I think the Lakers are continuing to go too small. And if you look at just the pure lineup data with the front court, if the Lakers go bigger with any combination of LeBron, AD, Rui, Jared Vanderbilt, Jackson Hayes, and Christian Wood, and I know 2 of those guys are out, but any combination of those 6, the lineups tend to be positive. If you insert Cam Reddish, you insert Taurean Prince in at the 3, those lineups become negative. Max Christie's the one guy that they've been able to play a little bit smaller with and get away with it, although, of course, he's played fewer minutes, so it's a bit of a smaller sample size. But I think we kind of know now at this point of the season, this group plays better when they play bigger. And the fact that Jackson Hayes only played 11 minutes, the fact that they went small again with Torian at the 4, or Torian or Cam at the 4, neither one is a 4. And I know like positional versatility and the Clippers play small, and like there's different things that kind of go into it. But to me, it's just neither one of those guys is a good enough defensive rebounder. And there were just several instances in which the Clippers were able to get offensive rebounds, able to get to the rim consistently against the Lakers' smaller lineups. And I think that's something that is going to have to be adjusted. And I mean, I've been on record. I think Max Christie has been playing better than Taurean Prince for several weeks now. Before he had that ankle injury, like that stretch of like Boston and New York and just that road trip, like I thought Max was more impactful. And I think he's a better point of attack defender. He's a much better rebounder. And the shooting numbers, on balance are better for Torian, but Max's catch and shoot numbers are actually pretty good. So to me, like I get that Torian, has a certain spot with Darvin, and that's just kind of how it's been. But the Lakers are at a point in their season where like they need to win every game, and every game matters. And the fact that let's see what he finished here with. Torian, was it Torian? Well, and the thing was that the plus minus numbers were a little skewed because the Torian and Cam and Jackson and D'Lo were all on the floor during that LeBron just crazy stretch, so they ended up being positive. But for most of the game, they were negative until that stretch, and it wasn't like those guys were doing much out there. I thought Jackson battled well. Obviously, D'Lo had 18 points. He hit some big shots down the stretch. Had a big 3 early in the 4th. Ends up, getting that big catch high, shoot high 3 late in the game to basically seal it. But specifically with Cam and with Torian, like those guys just aren't giving you anything offensively. And I just don't. I don't think they should be playing as much as they are. Again, Cam, more leeway to him or leniency, whatever, in terms of just like he's coming back from the injury, okay. But like still, anytime Cam Reddish puts the ball on the floor, bad things tend to happen. Taurean Prince missed some open threes, and like let's see here, he finished. Cam was 2 for 4, Torian was 1 for 4. So like they're both not taking many shots, but that's also kind of part of it is like they're just not contributing much. And like Torian was guarding Kawhi, and Kawhi he comes in, guards Kawhi. Kawhi immediately gets an and one on him. And like there was a play, he really struggles with screen navigation, and they ran a pin down for Norman Powell, and he gets a wide open jumper off of it because Torian just dies on the screen. And it's just like I don't know. It's just it doesn't really make sense to me. Some of the rotational decisions, and it almost cost the Lakers, right? Like, I mean, they won the game. The Clippers had a chance to tie it. Clippers were up for a majority of the game. So on the one hand, like fourth quarter comeback, incredibly impressive, a lot to be, optimistic about, a lot to take away from, a positive sense. But I still think the Lakers were in a hole that they didn't necessarily have to be in, and they were partly in that hole because of some of the rotational decisions, including playing smaller and playing lineups that don't have good enough defense and don't have good enough defensive rebounding. And that basically is Torian at the 4 with next to 3 guards or smaller players. So, I think if you're going to play those lineups, like put Max in And if you want to say, Max is the 4 or Cam is the 4, whatever, but like you're putting in a better defender and a better rebounder and just some more energy and athleticism, or just don't play 4 guards and wigs together. And, you don't really like, you need Vando really for that to work, or like you need better defensive rebounding, more size, more athleticism. But I feel like the Lakers have been going small lately in ways that just haven't really made sense. And like, yes, their opponents have been going small. Like Phoenix played small at portions of that game. Clippers tend to play small. But I also felt like, look at the Phoenix game. They countered the Lakers going small at times with KD, Eubanks, KD, and Bol, or Nurkic, KD, and Bol. And like, they just went, big. And it was like, we got all dudes, like our front court's all 6'10" and above. And the Lakers haven't really countered in that way. Like I would have liked to have seen some Jackson and AD together potentially, or something along those lines. But that's my spoonful of vinegar from this game. Of like, there was a reason why this was a miraculous comeback. It was because the Lakers were down by so much, and they were down by so much. Like they were shooting over 50% entering the fourth quarter. They finished at 54%. Like this was an incredible offensive display. Like the starters all had it going, and the offense was fine, and it continues to be fine. It has been fine for weeks. It's been the defense, and that partly is the available personnel, so injuries factor in, but it's also some of the lineup decisions and playing small and trusting guys who, a guy in Torian who I think the minute and workload has caught up to him. He has not played this heavy of a workload in years, and I think his legs are kind of gone defensively. So I think, whether it's phasing him out of the rotation or just playing him less, like I think the Lakers have to be more intentional about playing bigger lineups and maintaining some size out there. And if you're going to go 3 guards, you need some size at the 4 and the 5, not a non-defender rebounder at the 4. So that's just my opinion. I think it's kind of bore out in the film. It's bore out in the numbers, but that's something to monitor moving forward, because Lakers play the Wizards Thursday night. That's a game they should win with or without LeBron. But then after that, again, it's this gauntlet of Denver, Sacramento, Oklahoma City, Minnesota, Golden State, et cetera, et cetera. And like, those are some big matchups that are going to determine the rest of the Lakers season. And I don't think they can rely on the current rotation and just some of those lineup decisions. But we shall see. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification button to get notifications of my new videos. I'm trying to post close to daily basis. I mean, anytime there's a Laker game, I'm at least giving you a LeBron video, a post-game reaction, and then a vlog the following morning. So be on the lookout for that tomorrow. I will try and get that up as soon as I can. And thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you soon.